Hi, Maiden Nozilla. I'm Lam Kok Yong. My metric number is 269481. Today I'm going to present about our living standards of developing and developer nations convergence. Before we discuss this topic deeply, we need to understand what the divergence and convergence are. Divergence is a tendency for per capita income to grow faster in higher income countries than in lower income countries, so the income gap widens across country over time. Convergence is the tendency for per capita income to grow faster in lower income countries than in higher income countries, so that income gap shrinks across countries over time. Today, the average real living standard in the richest countries was no more than 100 times compared to the poorest country. This means that they have divergence between developer country and developing country. They have two important factors that can help to achieve a convergence among developing countries and developer countries, which are the technology transfer and factor accumulation. Besides that, they have four types of convergence. The first convergence is relative country convergence. That is the most common way to examine whether poorer countries are growing faster than richer countries. In this method, we take the certain country as the benchmark and compare it with other countries. For example, China's average income was just 3% of that of the US in 1980. It was estimated to have reached 40% of US income by 2007 years. But in the same period, the income of Congo fell from about 5% of US level to just 1%. But globally, evidence for relative convergence is weak at best, even for the most recent decades. They have three figures here. We can conclude that more than half countries are below average real per capita growth of US in figure A, B, and C. Next slide is about absolute country convergence. China and South Asia countries are currently on a path on relative country convergence. We can figure it out from the graph. Due to their relatively low starting income level, higher growth cannot shrink the income gap with the absolute amount of OECD country. Yes. Population weight relative country convergence shows the importance of a country's per capita income growth rate proportionally to the size of its population. In these four figures, the data are broken out into four time periods. Figure A and B reflect that there was a relative per capita divergence from 1950 years through 1976, but figure D reflects a relative per capita convergence since 1989, although they have stagnant or even worse condition in the least developer country, but the divergence effect is not that large because of their smaller population size compared to the country with large population. Last convergence is world as one country convergence. This is a very different approach to the study of convergence. This approach is to think of the world as one country. This approach can take into account change in inequality within country as well as between them. Most scholars and policymakers frame development as a process that occurs on the national level, and country convergence studies remain the standard. And that's all from me. Thank you.